Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Lily. I am so happy you're here with me. In today's video, I am going to open a Happy Mail package that I received a few days ago. In fact, it arrived on the day of my birthday. So I received it on August 15th. I had a great birthday, by the way. I spent it with my daughters, my grandkids, my sister, my parents, and it was so much fun. I put together an impromptu bead, like a bag charm party. Anyway, we had so much fun. I just loved it. I love it when we all get together and create some type of crafty projects. So that is always fun. Thank you so much for all of the amazing birthday wishes that I received. I appreciate you and thank you from the bottom of my heart. This package that I received on my birthday arrived from a YouTube friend. Her name is Cynthia Black. Thank you so much. And as soon as I get over to the Crafty Loft, I will open the package for you and show you all of the amazing things that she sent me. It is so stinking cute, like you have no idea. And I'm also going to work on a project just die cutting some Rolodex cards, and I have some here that I've already done. Look at how cute these are. And over here, and I'm going to show you how I did this. Super easy. And I'm going to talk about the paper that I used for these super cute Rolodex cards. Are you guys ready to get started? Let's go open up a Happy Mail. I'll see you over there. Let's go. In just a few moments, I will talk about this beautiful collage artwork that I have here on the background, which I also received in Happy Mail a while back. But right now, I'm going to focus on this Happy Mail that I received from an amazing person. Her name is Cynthia Black, and she is here on YouTube and also on Instagram. Thank you so much. This was totally unexpected, and it did catch me by surprise. And the best part is I received it on the day of my birthday, but I held on to it because I wanted to record, or I held off opening it because I wanted to record a video, like a 2-in-1, Happy Mail, and then also I'll be working on a project very shortly, so we'll get to that in just a moment. But look at how beautiful her presentation is, her little package of goodies and a handmade card. And I just love that. Thank you so much. You just put a huge smile on my face, Cynthia, and I appreciate you so much. And I love this card. It was made with scrapbooking paper, folded in half, and then rounded out the corners. How cute is that? So things don't have to be complicated to be super stinking cute. And she made me a little house envelope pocket. In her note, she tells me that she included one of my signature little house envelope pockets, and I recognize that little heart. And I don't know how you ended up with my little heart. Was it from Happy Mail, or what did I include it in an Etsy order? But I recognize that little heart because I made those a while back. So that was a nice little addition to the super cute little house envelope pocket. Thank you so much. I am so flattered that you take the time to make some of the projects that I feature here on my channel. And of course, this is one of my best creations, is the little house envelope pocket. So thank you for sending me one of your own. I really appreciate that. So I'm going to tuck that little tag back into its pocket. And this little house will end up in my personal junk journal, and I'll actually journal on the back of it so that I don't forget where it came from. And I'm just pointing out this cute little charm that she has dangling from the side. Super cute. And next we have a vellum envelope full of other goodies. So how sweet is that? I love me some die cuts. And then some journaling cards. I love those. I love including those in my own personal junk journals. And then there is this, which I couldn't figure out what it was. And it wasn't until after when I read her note that I realized it was a paper clip. And I was like, oh, mind blowing. I thought that was so clever. And I love these like hidden paper clips. These are just so clever. And I remember when I first started into junk journaling and learning so many new things, I made a few of these paper clips. They didn't turn out as nice, and it was like 10 years ago. And then there are these little bits right here, which I believe should be married to each other. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue it on there because I just love how that is going to look. It's like they complement each other really well. So I hope you don't mind that I did this. I just attached it. It was like it was meant to be. And I just embellished a cute little tag. Thank you so much. Thank you for thinking of me. Happy Mail is indeed what it is named, which is Happy Mail, because it really does put a smile to one's face. And I was grinning ear to ear. And oh, the anticipation, because I did receive this, I think it was last Friday on August 15th. And I just couldn't wait to get to it and open it. So the anticipation was real. Thank you for including these decorative papers. Right now, I am loving the checkerboard pattern. I mean, I've always loved it. It reminds me of my youth back when I was in junior high and high school. And right now, I think I'm reliving the 80s era. So I'm in my 80s era right now. And the checkerboard is part of that. So the checkerboard design. So thank you so much. And let's open up this package right here, which is adorned with this little tag. And let's just take a look and see what this is. It appears to be fabric. I thought it was going to be fabric, but oh no, look at this. You guys, I think I shed a few tears. So stinking cute. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh, I'm tearing up right now. These are happy tears. I wish I would have recorded my reaction, but there was so much going on in the background that oh my gosh, I just could not believe it. This is amazing, and seeing this again on video, I'm reliving that initial reaction. OMG, so stinking cute. Thank you so much. Sending you a virtual hug. I mean, this was, oh my gosh, this is so nice. Thank you. I don't even know how to put it in words. You really did leave me speechless. Did you make it? Did you find it somewhere? I mean, I'd love to know if you made this. And I know I messaged you on Instagram asking and, well, thanking you first of all. And I just love it so much. So now you know why I am wearing this as part of the introduction to this video. The introduction I actually filmed after the fact, but I thought it would be so stinking cute for me to wear it and kind of give you a sneak peek at this amazing t-shirt. Thank you so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you more than you know. You've made my day, you've made my month, and you brought me a huge, huge smile. Thank you. So I'm going to put everything away right now, and then in a future Junk Journal with Me video, I will incorporate a lot of these cute little bits into a layout so that I can preserve this memory. Okay, we're going to make a little project today, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but this is beautiful decoupaged paper. This is from Ileana Villarreal. She sent this to me a couple years ago. I have been hoarding it, and she decoupaged napkin onto cardstock. Tell me this isn't absolutely beautiful, and this is why I have been hoarding it. It is a one-of-a-kind collage artwork, and she made it by using napkins, thin tissue napkins, and just decoupaged it onto cardboard. This one here is slightly thin. It's a lighter weight cardstock that she used to decoupage on. And I am going to back it up with a heavier piece of cardstock. That other one was slightly short, and I'm just going to glue this green cardstock to the background to add a little bit more weight. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with these beautiful decoupaged pieces of art. They actually lived on my tabletop for a couple days before I had the idea of using it as die cuts. So we are going to make some Rolodex cards or some memory dex cards, and I'll bring in the die that I'm going to use to cut out some memory decks. You can call them memory dex cards or Rolodex cards. Basically the same thing. Memory dex just makes it more artsy, where Rolodex is more utilitarian. And I'm just smoothing it out, making sure that it adheres. And you know that I use a lot of the artsy Rolodex cards that I make as my business cards. And I was trying to figure out what exactly I was going to do. And let me tell you, I'm still not sure what I'm going to use the die cut shapes yet. But I thought I would bring you along and just have you here with me, chat a little bit while I die cut some beautiful cards out of this beautiful paper. It has inspired me to create a similar look with a lot of the napkins that I have collected, and also a lot of the beautiful napkins that I've received in Happy Mail. Now, creating a master board or a collage board has been around for a minute, and typically I use, or what I've seen being used, are scraps of paper, leftover scraps and wrapping paper, scrapbooking paper, things like that. But this is actually the first time I've seen it done with tissue napkins. This is the die that I am going to use to cut out as many cards as I possibly can. I do have a link for this one in the description area below. It's actually a very popular item in my Amazon storefront, so if you'd like to go take a look, I have that information down below. And I'm going to figure out a way to try to die cut as many as I possibly can, because I don't want a single inch of this beautiful paper to go to waste. I'm bringing up my oldie but goodie Big Shop machine, which is literally falling apart. I have tape holding it together, but it's still performing, so we are going to keep it until it just can't anymore. I'm trying to figure out the sizes and the best position to try to utilize as much of this paper as I possibly can. I'm using the die as a guide to trim some of the paper. Now, this is the one that I've glued, okay? And I'm going to show you a little mistake. I was excited to get this trimmed and cut right away. In hindsight, I should have waited a little bit before I cut it, and you'll see why in just a moment. What I was saying a moment ago is this collage art has really inspired me to create my own, and I will probably do that in a future video. Let's give it a try and collage and create a master board with beautiful napkins. Okay, this is where I kind of jumped ahead and try to die cut too soon. I use glue stick and it is not completely dry. And I think that's what prevented this from cutting all the way through. It's still kind of wet, the glue is. And even though it scored it, it didn't completely cut it through. And I die cut this one, and I'm just going to finish cutting around it with my scissors. And then, instead of waiting, I'm going to go ahead and do it again a second time. Because for a moment, I thought, well, maybe it's the die, or maybe it's my Big Shot. So I'm going to go ahead and do it a second time. Let's see if it works the second time. I don't know. If you don't have a memory die, look at how easy it could be for you to notch or cut out your own little notches. They're almost like in the shape of little heads, where it has a little neck and then a larger area, like where a head would be, like the silhouette, the silhouette of a head. So if this is something you want to DIY, you could totally do it. You just have to make sure that the little notches are spaced evenly so it fits in either your memory dex holder or your Rolodex holder. Okay, let's give it a second try. I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt, and let's see if this works. I have been hoarding napkins for a really, really long time. I don't work with them as often as I would like to, but I keep collecting them and I keep stashing them away. And I also get beautiful napkins in Happy Mail. And I have been saving those as well. And it wasn't until just recently, I am going through some neglected Happy Mail because I've stashed them away for later use, and that later use is today. And so I'm going through Happy Mail that I've already unboxed, and I'm going to start using a lot more of those items in my projects. So I came across this and I thought today would be perfect time to use it. And so this worked a little bit better. I want to say it's because the glue is drying, but I still need to give it a little help with my scissors. And just a little bit, most of it did cut through. And look at how beautiful these cards look. I just can't get over it. I think that's my favorite card, the one with that bright pink flower. In person, that little daisy is so bright pink. I love it. And then that beautiful butterfly. So that has to be one of my favorite cutout cards. I'm going to set the first one to the side until that glue completely dries. And let's see if it cuts better. But we're going to set it aside for just a moment. I'm now going to cut some strips of this one and cut new cards out. Again, trying to make the most of the design. I love this little birdie, so I don't want to leave the little birdie out of the die cut. So I'm positioning it right over, and I'm just going to trim right around it. I just want to get the most out of this beautiful paper. That little birdie card is also another one of my favorite. You know what's really hard? It's really hard to actually single one out and say, well, this one is my absolute favorite, because they all are. The design, and you know what I love? I know what I love about this collage work. It's the eclectic design of it. That's what I love, because once it's all said and done, it all works so well together. So my initial thought as I was working with all of these, oh, look, let me just show you. OMG, so stinking cute. These cards are going to be so cute. It's going to be really hard for me to actually use them once they're ready for the next step. But so as I was die cutting these cards, I'm also trying to figure out what I'm going to use them for. So I initially thought I will embellish the cards a little bit more and then add my business label on the back and then use them as business cards like I normally do. But I also like including them in my junk journals and creating like a corner tuck spot on journal pages. I like doing that as well. So I was a little bit conflicted because the cards as they are perfect, like they're beautiful. And I don't want to embellish and cover up the design on the front. And so I struggled with that, because some of the die cuts that I was going to use, or what I am planning to use, or let me rephrase that, what I thought about using would cover up too much of the design, and I didn't want that. Ileana, I know she put a lot of work into these papers, and I don't want to cover it with large die cuts. So then I thought, well, maybe I could just use smaller die cuts, or maybe I could leave it as it is. Or what if I use word stickers or sentiment stickers, and just add a nice little phrase to the front of the cards. It won't take up or block out too much of the design, but it'll be a nice, a nice card with a beautiful sentiment on the front. What if I do that? So, after thinking long and hard, that is probably what I am going to do. In today's video, I'm just die cutting. I'm just going to die cut because I'm still working on 6 Bambi little golden books. I should have been finished with those by now, but I keep getting distracted with other projects like this. And however, my idea is to save some of these cards and use them as corner tuck spots in some of the pages of the upcoming Bambi Little Golden books. They're going to look great. In fact, I'm going to link a video up above showing you how I use the Rolodex cards as tuck spots and how I've collaged and made my own designs using scraps of paper, similar to this, but not tissue. I'll link that video for you up above, just to provide you with a little bit more inspiration. I'm going to go ahead and do the same with this one. There are going to be some little scrappy bits left over, and I am not getting rid of those. What I should have done is grab maybe my heart handheld punch, maybe my circle punch, and punched out some more shapes, but I will save that for another time. Right now, it's all about the Rolodex card, the Memory Dex card, and look at how beautiful. These are art pieces that can always be transformed into something else. Don't do like me and hoard it, because it'll look better once you create a project with it. And then it'll look even better when it's in your junk journal or when it's on display in your Memory Dex file. My Memory Dex lives on my craft table, and I know I've shown you a glimpse, a very brief, images maybe in my Instagram stories of my tabletop, and my Memory Dex lives on there. And every few days I will rotate the pages to showcase a different artsy Rolodex card. And those really do inspire me, and they look beautiful on my desk like decor. So what I'm trying to say is, don't be like me, hoard the stuff in a box or in a drawer. Let's make something out of it and put it on display. I will appreciate it much more, especially handmade items like this, where Ileana, took the time to create and send me her beautiful artwork. So thank you so much. And there's more. She's actually sent me some other collaged or decoupaged pieces and some beautiful papers too. So I will continue to work with those. I'm no longer hoarding my Happy Mail. I'm going to be, in future videos, my plan is to incorporate a lot of the Happy Mail that I've received, along with the junky junk that I collect, and start using more of that in my personal junk journals. I think that would be a really, really good idea. I recently took some time off from work. I took a week off from work to do nothing. Well, nothing that is work related. I needed to focus on myself for one week and do a reset, like a complete reset. So having this week off, I have been able to focus on things in my personal life that I have neglected, like my home life. I have been go-go most of the year, and I think I was due for a break to kind of focus and reset on things. So this has allowed me the opportunity to go through all of that Happy Mail that I've received in the last few years and reorganize it and reassess and put those things to use. So I've been working in my craft room a lot because that brings me, joy, and it makes me happy to spend time in my craft room. I've also been decluttering and going through things and setting up a pile of things to donate. I had, a lot of things that I've been holding on to that I thought I could use. And so I had to have a heart to heart with some of those things. So I have been not only resetting, but also cleaning out, organizing, and decluttering. And I'm taking my time with it. I also didn't want to feel rushed while I was taking this time off. I wanted to enjoy the time off, but also kind of cleanse the palate or cleanse my area, because I felt like I was all over the place recently, where I was really struggling to get back into my morning routine. And I've talked about my morning routine many times, and I just couldn't do it. And I mentioned in a previous video how my son-in-law, my youngest son-in-law, how he really motivated me and inspired me to kind of get back into my running routine. So I was struggling with that because I couldn't find the time to fit it in, nor the motivation, to actually do it. Anyway, so these past few days, I have really, really kind of assessed my day and figured out what would be the best thing for me to do throughout my day. I am a morning person. I've talked about this so many times, and I have the most energy in the morning, so I try to take advantage of that. And there is an old quote: if you conquer the morning, you conquer the day. I can't remember who said that, but that lives true. If you conquer the morning, you conquer the day. It works for me. So I love getting up first thing in the morning and getting my run in first thing in the morning. I used to run outside, but now I have a treadmill. I do it in my garage, and I am training for a half marathon, my very first half marathon ever, and that'll be Saturday, October 25th. And I started a 10-week half marathon training program. And I am now 1 week in, and oh my gosh, it is pushing me more than I've ever pushed myself. But I think that this 10-week program will really prepare me so that I can do well. Basically, finish the half marathon. That's my goal, just to finish it. And, and I'm now doing that in the morning. And then I like drinking my coffee right after. I fuel up, of course. I do all of those other things to get, the electrolytes and all that stuff back in. But then I enjoy making my cup of coffee, and I enjoy reading. I am currently reading A Court of Thorns and Roses. And by the way, it's fantastic. And then that's what I like to do in the early morning. And by 9 a.m., I've done all of those things. And then I can get myself ready for the day. And I have, not only have I started my training for my running and decluttering and working on a lot of content for my YouTube, but I've also hung artwork that has been living on the floor, just kind of leaning up against the wall. All of those, all of those little things that kind of get pushed aside for a later date or for the future or when the time is right. And I need to get it into my head that it's always the perfect time. Like today is the time. Right now is the moment, because you've heard this before. It sounds like such a cliche, but the future is not guaranteed. And so if there's something that you want to do, we just need to stop and do it. Like, I need to stop procrastinating. So this week, that's what I've been focusing on. Resetting, clearing the mind, no longer procrastinating. And maybe it's not so much procrastinating. It's just a long list of to-do things. And it's just reprioritizing all of those things. I feel so much better. And I'm so glad that I came across this beautiful decoupage paper. I feel like I've accomplished something and that I'm putting someone's handmade work to good use. Do you know what I mean? And that's how I feel with my surroundings. It has been a really nice week. So I appreciate you being here with me and watching me die cut these beautiful cards, and look at how beautiful they look as they are. I love these so much. I'm pointing that this is my favorite, but they're all my favorite. I do have a small or a short slideshow at the very end so that you can see some of these up close. Tell me what you would do with these if you had to work with these. I want to leave them as they are, but they may be featured in the little golden books that I am working on. Thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Ileana, and thank you, Cynthia, for the beautiful happy mail. You have warmed up my heart. You guys are awesome, and I will see you next time. Bye.